Immediately after unloading your Oliver, inspect the crate for carrier damage. If crate scarring or damage is evident, check thoroughly for machine damage. If damage is evident, a claim should be filed with the freight carrier. This is your responsibility and not Oliver Manufacturing's. Your Oliver can be damaged while uncrating. First, the top of the crate should be carefully removed, then the sides. After the top and sides are removed, the machine can be removed from the bottom of the crate by removing the 4 3/8-inch bolts located in the machine's corner holes on the mounting flange. While removing the crate, do not lay anything on the separation deck that may cause damage. Also, be careful not to puncture the filter screens located on the sides of the machine. The feed hopper, mounting brackets, discharge hoppers, and drive sheaves are attached either to the inside of the shipping crate or are stored inside the machine. Look inside the machine by opening the filter screens and removing the accessory. Normally, they are held with wire ties. A solid, level foundation is required for your Oliver. False vibrations from improper installation can ruin the separation efficiency of your machine. A 6-inch concrete slab is recommended, but not essential. If you feel your floor is insecure, please contact the factory for recommendations. If a motor is installed at the factory, it will be wired for 60-cycle, 220-volt, 3-phase power unless otherwise specified. If you provide your own motor, be sure it is large enough to carry the load as specified in Oliver literature. Before placing the motor inside the machine, install the motor shaft sheave using the bushing provided. Loosen the motor mounting board and slide it toward the fan housings. Place the motor on the board, mount the belts, align the sheaves, and adjust the belts to the proper tension. The belts should deflect approximately 1/2 inch when checking about midway between the sheaves. When your electrician wires the motor, be sure that he connects it so that it will run in the proper direction. All shafts on Hi-Cap machines should turn clockwise when viewed from the end of the machine where the motor is installed. Proper fan rotation is very important. The air inlet screens must be clean. If they become plugged with dirt, your machine will not make an accurate separation. Some installations will require clean outside air rather than drawing dirty plant air through the machine's air filters. To make a separation on a gravity separator, some basic physical principles apply. Once they are understood, it is a simple step to adjust a gravity machine to produce the optimum separation. Archimedes discovered the law of specific gravity, which states, particles having a specific density of less than 1 will float, and particles with a specific density greater than 1 will sink. Air is used on all gravity separation equipment as the separating standard through the process of stratification. Stratification occurs by forcing air through the particle mixture so that the particles rise or fall by their relative weight to the air. The area on the deck immediately below the feeder is called the stratifying zone. In this zone, the vibration of the deck and the lifting action of the air combine to stratify the material into layers, with heavier layers on the bottom and lighter layers on top. Separation of different weight particles cannot occur until the material becomes stratified. Once the material becomes stratified, the vibrating action of the deck converts the layers of vertical stratification to a horizontal specific density separation. The feed rate control is located on the feeder and is necessary to provide a mechanism to introduce your material to the separating deck in a uniform way without surges. When starting your stoner, always start at the minimum feed rate. Obtain your required separation, then increase the feed rate to the desired capacity. Tilt is the difference in the high end and the low end of the operating deck. Increasing tilt will cause material to shift toward the low end of the deck. Decreasing tilt will cause the material to shift toward the high end of the deck. Normally, the best separations are obtained when the tilt is set at or near the maximum. Eccentric speed and tilt are inversely related. Increasing speed moves material to the high end. Decreasing speed will move material to the low end of the deck. Eccentric speed is adjusted by turning the more speed control knob located on the side of your stoner. Air regulation is one of the most important adjustments on a stoner. The most common mistake in air regulation is too much air. Separation is not made by blowing the light material from the heavy, but by using a controlled airflow to create the stratified layers, which are then separated by the vibrating action of the deck. Too much air will cause a bubbling or boiling action, which mixes the stratifying layers. Too little air will cause the material to appear sluggish and pile up on the high end of the deck. Now that you are familiar with the control features of your machine, you are ready to make a separation. Many of the initial adjustments must be made soon after the material is fed onto the deck. Therefore, it is a good idea to preset the controls. Set eccentric speed and tilt to approximately 3/4 of their maximum setting. Close the air gates completely for small material and open partially for material larger than 1/8 inch diameter. Before you make your presets, make one final check to ensure the fan shaft is turning in the proper direction. When viewed from the main belt side, all shafts should rotate counterclockwise.